Yeah, well, we're going to be talking about the whole Joe Biden thing in a bit more detail shortly. But, I mean, what about the optics, if you like, in terms of the sort of message which NATO is trying to get back to those in Moscow surrounding Putin by saying we are ready, we're getting more troops on standby, we are going to protect the borders. Does that send a message to them that says you've really got to keep an eye on what Putin is doing, because if you don't, then the response is going to be huge?
Well, yes, but it depends on who's actually got that influence onto Putin. And from what we understand, and certainly sources of mine have told me, there is very little influence. Putin is going to do very much his own thing. He's not looking at a steering committee of sorts or a strategic committee that is sitting down and battle planning how they may potentially move next. As far as I know, he is very autocratic about this. There's been enough generals that are being thrown into gulags, as senior members of FSB are also being thrown into. And again, this is from either their dissent by passing intelligence to Ukraine, to Zelensky's team, about attempted assassinations by the Wagner Group and coordinated attacks in certain areas. So he doesn't have a universal support as far as we know. So the NATO's position, albeit it is sending those messages. Are those messages actually getting through? Are they actually being listened to?
The date that we're all talking about, that Putin wants to announce some sort of a victory by, is it May 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can't back down at the moment, can he? He has to try and struggle to get some sort of triumph to announce on May 9.
Yeah, he's invested so heavily now, and it is also beyond that point almost of that negotiation where he can step away without losing face. So this is what is so incredibly concerning, particularly over the next week or so, as to what is his step going to be. What concessions can Ukraine make to come to some sort of peace, whether that be Donbass being annexed like Crimea, but highly unlikely if that was to include Mariupol, because that is a very key and critical port, as Odessa is, for Ukraine.